Well, friends, now I am going to discuss the topic, the tension between personal safety and moral responsibility in A Tale of Two Cities. Today is April 18, 2020, and we are looking back at two things. Number one, basically the period between 1775 and 1790, and then 1859. Why am I actually pointing out these two time zones? See, this book is being written in 1859.
Yes, sir.
And the incidents being described in this book range from
1775 to
1775 to say 1790.
90. Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what I really want to point out is that personal safety, well-being, security, this is one of the well springs of human action. Because it is an animal instinct to preserve life and to maintain well-being, safety and security in any way possible. But man, they say, is a combination of both animality and rationality. So the ethical sense, the moral sense, the sense of duty, the sense of good and evil, these are something that are culturally inculcated into every individual, into every community, based on the cultural norms that in their turn are shaped by time, place, circumstance, and so on and so forth. A Tale of Two Cities is actually a tale, a historical novel that deals with events immediately before and during the French Revolution. So obviously, the cultural standards, you have to understand, is that of the 18th century. 18th century, as you all know, is also called the age of prose and reason, from which the Romantic age was about to at once emanate and deviate. So it is on the basis of this background that we can only discuss the tension between personal safety and moral or ethical responsibility. Now, by using the word tension, we are actually placing moral responsibility and personal safety on two opposite sides, because tension is possible between two contraries or two opposites. is personal safety and moral responsibility or ethical responsibility could be mutually inclusive. No question of tension would come. So you have to understand that they are mutually exclusive or inimical to each other. That is why we are raising the point of tension. Okay?
Yes.
Now, you just read the text. You think about the text. You start the story proper with the incidents of the male coach, if you remember. Do you remember? The Dover mail, the male coach,
Yes.
in which Jarvis Lorry is traveling to Dover.
Dover.
You remember?
Yes.
Okay. You remember that the coachman actually hears the rapid advance of someone on horseback, yes?
Yes.
The clattering of hooves, yes?
Yes.
And he actually takes up the blunderbuss. The firearms. And in the name of the king, prepares to defend the male. Yes?
Yes.
You remember in the first chapter, the period, you were given to understand that daring burglaries were committed. For example, in one, a male coach was held up, and there were 7 highwaymen. The coachman actually killed 3 of them and got killed himself.
Okay.
And then the 4 highwaymen robbed the mail coach in peace. So obviously, you remember, you have to understand that the coachman could have very easily let these highwaymen rob the mail coach, but he didn't. Why? Because even over the personal consideration of safety, he placed the call of duty. Personal safety was ignored because on account of moral responsibility. Because he was a coachman, he was supposed to defend the life and property of his passengers. Okay. Similarly, you think about Dr. Manet. His personal safety lay in accepting the gifts of the Edelman brothers and remaining mum about the atrocities committed by them. He actually chose to write the letter denouncing the Edelman brothers, and for his pains, he was summarily imprisoned for 15 years. Okay. He has now come to the Old Bailey trial. Think about it. Ultimately, Sidney Carton could save Charles Darnay's life on account of the uncanny similarity, physical resemblance between the two.
Yes.
But think about it. He could have come to grief because Solomon Toss, the spy, had sworn that the accused, Charles Darnay, who was almost the physical double of Sidney Carton, was a spy. So in a way, Sidney Carton could have placed himself in jeopardy by saving Charles Darnay. This thing did not appear to him because he was interested in saving the man's life. And because he was a barrister, a bar at law, he was saved from this predicament. Now you come to Jervis Lorry. Jervis Lorry was a banker. He did travel to a revolutionary France to save, to do anything for his clients. So he actually placed his own personal safety and comfort at naught for his professional responsibility, duty of saving his client. Now we come to the revolutionary mob. You think about the storming of the Bastille. They were fighting against trained troops. They knew that many of them will be injured or killed even. Even then, they actually rose up in arms against the repressive, oppressive and autocratic regime of the day. Now you come to Charles Darnay. Charles Darnay was no fool. He had heard about the predicament of the French aristocracy during the revolution. And yet, he risked inconvenience, imprisonment, even death at the call of Monsieur Gabel, because he wanted to save the life of one of his employees. So again, the question of personal safety was ignored at the call of moral responsibility. Okay. Come to Miss Pross. You think about the encounter between Miss Pross and
Madame Defarge.
Madame Defarge at the fag end of the novel.
Yes.
She knew that she could be killed. She could be tortured even by the revolutionaries. And yet, she was hell-bent on saving her ladybird at any cost. And that's why she fought with Madame Defarge. You think about Jerry Cruncher, the one-time grave stealers, dead corpse snatcher.
Yes.
Even he had experienced a change of heart. That's why he could place his personal safety at risk in aiding the flight of the menace. So, you see, the question of personal safety and moral responsibility are two basic triggers of human action. Why am I saying this? Because against moral responsibility, there are other questions, personal safety also. For example, you think about some other characters. People like Stryver, who placed his personal comfort before everybody else's interest when he exploited Sidney Carter. You think about Solomon Pross or Bernard Bassett, the spy, who placed personal safety at a premium, and that's why he could allow Sidney Carton to impersonate Charles Darnay. Why? Because Sidney Carton had threatened to unmask him. You think about the Everman brothers, who could fulfill moral responsibility in quest of personal safety. So, throughout this novel you will see that personal safety and moral responsibility are two triggers of human action, and they are always placed on the opposite sides of each other, and therefrom springs the tension between them. This, in a nutshell, was my discussion on this topic. In any future audio, I am going to deal with one of the other topics that are there in the list of probable topics. So, this much for the time being.